So, hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So, it's wrap up time. I have actually I read 11 books. And, it's good. It's not like the best month I have had. But hopefully June will get better. I am trying to do a 30 books in 30 days. Will it happen? Skeptical on that. But we are just going to try. But like, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about what I read in May. So 11 books. It's pretty decent. I am like trying to be on like 10-15 at least a month. So we are doing all right. We are over 100 books in a year already. So yeah. But I will also say it might be in July or it might be later on this month. I don't know. Depends on when I get to it. But I am definitely doing like where I talk a little bit about my 2021 goals that I set for myself, because I mean, who am I who sets that many goals that I just know that I won't be able to finish? I don't know who I am. But let's talk about books I read. The first book I read was Swimming Lessons, and this is a poetry collection from Lily Reinhardt, which is, I think, mostly known as playing Betty on Riverdale. And I'm going to try and watch Riverdale again. It's just not that high on my priority list, because I just feel like it's getting weirder and weirder, at least that's what I have heard. So, Swimming Lessons. It's about heartbreak. It's about, I mean, a lot of poetry collections are about that. I feel like a lot of poetry collections are about like that. So, but I don't know what I'm going to tell you about this. It's a poetry collection. I gave it 4 stars. I actually really liked it. I could connect to some of the poetries, some of the poems, not all of them, but that is like, then I had to write it myself if I'm going to, connect with every single one. But yeah, 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. I have yet to find a 5-star poetry collection, but that might not never happen. Who knows? But I still really love poetry. The next book is The Bronze Horseman, and this book, I have to say, is really conflicting. I have to say, because yeah, let's just talk about what it's about first. So it's about Tatiana, and basically she lives in Russia. So this is I think it's World War II, kind of a historical fiction. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to call it historical romance because it's not. Yeah, and basically, she meets this guy called Alexander, and she falls head over heels. So it's, a little bit like a love at first sight. But they spend like a day together, and then he follows her back home, and she figures out that Alexander is the guy that her sister has been talking nonstop about, and she don't know what she's going to do. So, it's just, I gave it 4 stars, but it's still really conflicting because I loved the writing style. I have nothing against, slow books. And yeah, some of the tropes I liked, but other aspects I just hated. So this is like one of the most toxic relationships I have ever read about, of like the current I have read. So basically, Alexander is dating Tatiana's sister for, I have no idea how long, at least 50% of the book. So it's really toxic because he obviously likes Tatiana. And I was really, I have to say, worried about how is the author going to, fix this, because he obviously likes Tatiana, but he's together with the sister, with Sister Dasha. So how is the author going to fix this? And yeah, I don't know how I liked about that. And then, the last 50% of the book, I just hated Alexander. He has his sweet moments, but overall, I really did not like him at all. He was, an asshole for a lot of time, and he was just, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, and yeah. I gave it 4 stars, but I would definitely check out trigger warnings. So yeah, the reason why I gave it 4 stars is because I love the writing style. And yeah, I'm not that triggered of like awful relationships, but I'm going to say it. The relationship is kind of a hot ass mess. But yeah, I can definitely, I can read about toxic relationships, so yeah. I'm still going to continue on. I still have the other 2 books, so. The next book I read was Silver in the Woods, and in this one we are following Silver. And basically he owns this mansion-ish in, like, close to the woods, and in that wood is this guy who is kind of tied to the wood. And he is protecting, these people from different things that lives in the woods. And some things happen, and they start spending time together. However, there is this one thing that is going to happen that the guy in the woods is trying to protect Silver from. So I gave these 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. It's a really short one, but yeah. So where was I? Yeah, 4 stars. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, I definitely can't wait to read the second book because it is a duology, so I want to continue on. And then I read The Secret Adversary, and in this one we are following these 2 people. I don't remember much from it. I gave it 3 stars, so it was okay. But it's basically about these 2 people who is trying to figure out what happened to this woman. And that is kind of all I remember. It wasn't that memorable. But overall it was good, but it wasn't memorable. So I don't remember that much from it. Then I read Tomi. And this book is basically about this girl and no matter how many times you kill her, she keeps coming back. That is kind of it. It's a horror graphic novel. I wasn't that scared, but now I am not that very scared when it comes to reading. I'm more scared when it comes to like watching a movie. But you know, I wasn't that scared. It was more weird, you know, and creepy. I got 4 stars, so did I say that? I might have done that. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend reading them if you want to, you know, read something different than, yeah. Then I read House of Earth and Blood, or reread House of Earth and Blood. And I'm so happy that I did it. I still really love it. So, in this one we are following Bryce. And you know, her friend Danica is out from, you know, she is this protective, like this wolf who protects the city. And basically something happens, and then years later, Bryce is, you know, pulled into this investigation because people are dying, and basically it's a really dangerous investigation. So she gets a bodyguard, and basically he comes in the form of a fallen angel called Hunt. And I gave this 5 stars. I really love this. So, you know, it's just, I read it last year. I can't wait to read it in January when the next book comes out. Maybe February. Maybe I should read that one in January and the next one in February. I don't know yet. But I can't wait to, you know, read it the next one. And I am so curious to see how things is going to go. And then I read, or reread, Divergent by Veronica Roth. And in this one we are following Triss. And in the city she lives in, basically it's divided into 5 factions. And basically every single year when you are 16, well, not every single one, when you are 16, you are basically taking this test to determine which of the 5 factions you fit into. And Triss, she doesn't fit into only one faction. She fits into several, and she's called Divergent, and that is very dangerous because they are after these because they don't fit into one faction and they are a threat. So Triss, she must kind of get through this, you know, and not get caught. I gave it 5 stars. I still really like this book, and you know, I just flew through it. Even though I spent so much time reading it, I still flew through it in a day when I first sat down and read it. Then I read The Minotaur King, and this is a novella in the Goblins Wars. And basically, this book, we are following a Minotaur. And every year there is this tournament that will determine like which one of them will become a you know, protector of the queen. And basically the Minotaur, I don't remember his name, he has a weird name or something. Basically he has always had a crush on the queen. And basically he's chosen to become one of her warriors. But things like change when he meets I think he's half orc. Then some things happen and it just takes a whole twist and it turns crazy. I if you know me, you know that I don't like novellas. I gave this 4 stars. I I rarely give novellas 4 stars when I don't know the characters or anything. I give this 4 stars, which means that I was so invested in this, and now I want to continue on. I don't know if we will follow the same group of characters in the next ones, but I hope that we get at least a visit into his life again. And then I read Savior, and this is the fourth, I think it's the fourth book in the Lost Tribe of the Siths. So I'm not going to tell what this particular volume is about, but basically we are following this kind of group of Siths, and basically they crash land on this planet, and now they kind of are lost. No one is looking for them, and basically they need to, you know, weave through everything. And yeah, so in this volume I just feel like you got a good sense of how the Siths are, because obviously if you have watched the Star Wars movies, you know how the Siths are. In the 3 other volumes, I have not felt like we got to see a lot of the Siths, but in this one we definitely did. Then I read Beyond the Mountain, and this is the 4th book in the Face Captive series. And in this one we are following this girl. Don't remember her name yet, still. But basically, her roommate kind of sends her off into the Fae world because there is a bargain, and she just sends her off. And basically what happens is that she meets the King of Winter, and basically he kind of sees that this girl is my mate. And it's their story as he's taking her to the Winter King, or the Winter Realm. But basically, things are not as it seems, and this story just turns more and more crazy, you know. And it just turns weird and crazy, but I still gave it these 4 stars. It was just so crazy and so stupid that I really loved it. It's just something really, really easy. So then the last one that I read is a Norwegian one, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's basically called Shiro, the Girl I Used to Be. And basically this is written by one of our, influencers here in Norway called Isabel Rad. And it's basically, her life story on how she grew up. Her mother came from, was it Iraq? As a, what's it called in English? I don't know. You go into country because of war in your country. What's it called in English? I have no idea. I know what it's called in Norwegian, but not in English at the moment. So yeah, but and you get her story as she grew up, and let's just say that it hurts my heart so much on everything that went down. It just hurts, So I gave it these 5 stars. I read a few, influencer books from Norway. This is the best one so far. So yeah, that was all the books that I read this month, and I hope you liked this video, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye!
Another broken plate, another called off date. We never seem to get it right.